Do you think it is important to show appreciation to the school attendants?
Yes, I think that it is of utmost importance to show appreciation to our school attendants. They are the ones who help keep our schools a conducive environment to play and study in. There are many things we take for granted in our day-to-day lives, such as a spick-and-span classroom, dry toilets, and clean canteen tables. Even if only for a day, we should take the time out to express our appreciation. Personally, I will sign up to make a card for the cleaners, as crafting is a hobby I enjoy doing, and it allows me to make enough of them to give them to the cleaners I often see around. I am far too shy to perform a song and dance, and I would be worried about whether the ingredients are suitable if I were to bake cookies. By making and giving cards, it is an appreciation gift that the attendants can have as a keepsake. Just last month, my school held a similar event to show appreciation for the cleaners working in my school. I was unsure of what I could do, but thankfully, my parents were very helpful. That evening, my parents brought me to the supermarket and we picked out a variety of products. My mother helped me to pick out some snacks that were enjoyable and easy for the elderly cleaners to eat. I even made a few small thank you cards to give out with the snacks. I was buzzing with excitement when my father dropped me off at school with me the next day. I proudly brought my items to class to show my teacher and classmates. My teacher even commended me for putting so much thought into my contributions. In conclusion, I wholeheartedly agree that we should show appreciation to our school attendants as they work tremendously hard to keep our school immaculate.
2. Have you helped an elderly person before?
Yes, I have helped an elderly person before. It was a small act, but it left a lasting impression. I vividly recall the incident that happened a few weeks ago. I was on my way to my tuition class and was waiting for the lift. As it was around dinner time, the mall was filled with large crowds and there was a long queue for the lift. I was about to give up and take the escalator when the lift arrived. When the doors opened, those closest to the doors rushed in. Thankfully, there was enough space for one more person, so I squeezed in. However, when I stepped in, I noticed an old man who was waiting outside the lift. He looked frail and feeble, and I immediately knew he needed the lift more than I did. I quickly stepped out of the lift and ushered the old man to go in to take my place. The old man was full of smiles and thanked me in Chinese. When the lift doors closed, I felt an immense sense of fulfillment and quickly ran to take the escalator. To conclude, I have helped an elderly before and I will happily do so again. Being kind and considerate to others should be ingrained in all of us.
Would you like to spend more time with the elderly?
Yes, I would like to spend more time with the elderly. I have a close relationship with my grandparents and always enjoy the time spent with them. My mother's parents live with us. I spend most of my time with them as both my parents are working. My grandfather will take me to school and tuition classes while my grandmother stays home. I enjoy the travel time with my grandfather as he always tells me jokes that make me laugh so hard that I will be gasping for air. When I get home, my grandmother will have lunch prepared and she always cooks my favorite dishes. While I am eating, she will sit with me and ask me about my day. Sometimes, she will even offer some nuggets of advice for the problems I'm facing at school. I always enjoy the time I get to spend with my grandparents. If I am given the opportunity to spend time with other elderly, I am sure I will enjoy it just as much. Once, my grandmother had some friends over and they were reminiscing about an old Hong Kong movie. When I overheard their conversation, I realized that I had watched the movie on Netflix with my parents before. I offered to put the movie on for them and even sat down to enjoy it with them. When the guests were leaving, they enthused about how nice it was to have a young person help them with technology. One of them even praised me for being a good boy, for sitting down to spend time with them. I was riddled with confusion by her comment, but nodded politely. When they left, my grandmother explained to me that her grandson usually hides in his room. He and his parents do not talk to her much and she feels lonely. It was then that I realized how grateful I was for this close relationship with my grandparents. To summarize, I like to spend time with the elderly. After I learned that not all grandchildren have good relationships with their grandparents, I realized the importance of spending time with the elderly.